December 1st, the first day of December 2025. So much is going to change this month. Take a moment and just allow yourself to arrive in the place where you are seated. And as you're allowing yourself to just recognize how you're held, we're invited to take a moment to notice which part of your body feels the most held by your seat. And as you're taking a moment to feel that, we want to notice, what does that quality of support feel like to you? And you're taking a moment to recognize that quality of support. You're letting your brain see it. We're saying this experience belongs to me. This quality of experience belongs to me. You want your brain to be able to take a snapshot of that, and then we're giving the body a minute to receive it. It takes the body longer. So notice, how does your body receive that? How does your body acclimate to that? And then we want to take a moment and notice what is the challenge that we are facing into today. Notice what is most alive in your heart, in your mind, or maybe in the circumstances of your life. You want to go ahead and articulate that challenge in the lines below for that. And then you want to be able to draw that onto the body diagram. Where do you feel that happening or coming alive in your body? Let's take a few minutes to go ahead and recognize that. So we want to notice those two together. Even looking in your body diagram, where do they sit? And through our practice this morning, what we're doing is we're helping these two experiences come together within our system. Jesus invites us to recognize that relationship is one part giving and receiving the other. So it's a giving and a receiving and a giving and a receiving and a giving and receiving. And this intertwines us together. First, we learn that grace and the pace of intertwinement with our divine connection. And then we learn, and I point up, but God is all around us. I'm just pointing up for whatever reason. And then as we learn how to receive and be present, be fully vulnerable and be present and receive the love that is there to connect with us, to bring us into more wholeness and peace, then we learn how to do that in relationship with each other. And that's essentially what we're doing with the practices. So as you're looking at the challenge that you're facing today, the challenge is evoking the place where you are experiencing an incompleteness or a quality of not being met or a part of yourself that's been working independent from God. And we're coming to God's love and we're saying, this is where I am broken. And God's saying, here's where I'm filling you. So in your body where you feel that physiologically, that's a real tangible thing. What you can feel is energetic, but it's also a biochemistry that's alive in your body. And so just take a moment and you're placing your hand on the two areas where you can really feel those experiences coming alive, both the way in which you're supported and then the challenge that you're facing. And we're going to then turn our heads side to side. Can I turn my head slowly to one side first and still feel the presence of both my hands the presence of support in my body, and a challenge that is alive for me today to help me grow. And can I bring those into slow motion? And then I'm turning to the other side, same thing. As I turn to the side, can I feel, again, let my brain feel both my hands, how I'm held in the seat. And we're going to do that again. We're just move at your own pace. So do the pace that feels right to you. I'm wanting to have an awareness and hold that awareness of both my hands and the support while I'm turning my head. I don't want to leave the experience of being able to feel the support as I'm looking into the room. This is strengthening your sensory agility to stay connected and embodied while you are functioning in the world, functioning and moving, that you can still feel yourself and your connection to your divine. And then we're looking up, same thing. And we're looking down. And then again, you're looking at your body diagram that you just drew, and notice, how is it changing? How does the experience of even the challenge change when we slow it down and we're making more room for it? Notice how the intensity shifts. It may shift to more, it may shift to less. It just depends on where you are in the cycle of how it's revealing itself to you. So now we have these two gifts. We have this gift of living support. That's what God's giving us. That's the fuel God gives us to face into the challenge that is alive for us today. And then we have the gift of the challenge. The challenge is our potential growth. This is the thing that is part of our purpose to relate to in this way, so that we get to do this in a way that is in alignment with what does God want that challenge that we're facing to turn into. Well, we don't know what that is. we don't we don't know what that's going to turn into. So what we do is we're moving into conversation with our creator. When we're going through the journal, we're looking at this line number 2. This is us saying, this is me. This is us becoming vulnerable, honest, and authentic with our creator. I'm saying, this is me. This is how this is alive in me when I face into this challenge. And this is what that's been like for me. This is how it touches each part of me. This is a radical embodied vulnerability. This is the training wheels and the steps that really bring all of you home to God. So in this line number 2, you want to be able to articulate, how do you name God? What is the name that you're using? Because this is a conversation. So you want to start out in lines number 2 with that name. For me, that's Jesus. I'm speaking directly to Jesus, to God. I'm saying, Jesus, this is how my mind sees myself in the face of this challenge. Jesus, this is how I speak about this challenge to people around me or internally to myself. Jesus, this is how I behave every time this challenge comes present. That's my semantic. That's how my heart resonates with God. So notice how your heart resonates with God, and you're going to write that name, your semantic, in that line for number 2. Notice, how does your mind see yourself? What does your mind see, and what do you hear your mind thinking as you're facing into the challenge that is alive for you today? Take a moment to notice that, and we're going to articulate that in our journal. And how do you speak about it? And then your impulse to behave, you're noticing, are you moving towards the circumstance, trying to manipulate it, trying to fix it? Are you frozen and maybe collapsed? Are you avoiding it, moving into some coping mechanism? Or are you doing your best to walk with your creator in um, participation, trying to relate to the circumstance in a new way, in a fresh way? Notice how you are behaving in the face of the challenge. And what is the emotion and what are the sensations that are evoked with that emotion when you experience this challenge? You want to be able to draw this on the body if it's not already represented. And again, we're making room for that aliveness. So turning side to side and up and down. And then how does your breathing respond to this challenge? Notice if, as you read it, if you're holding your breath or anxious breathing or super tiny shallow breathing or apathetic breathing, like I don't even care if I'm breathing. Just notice what type of breath rate is engaged when you are facing into this challenge. And in the past, when I have faced into a similar challenge, notice what it's been like as you think about your different ages and stages, as you have faced into this theme or this type of challenge. How did you respond? What was your outcome? Then we want to take a moment to notice, what does this present challenge make you think is going to happen in the future? So this now is the full embodiment to our capacity for today, obviously, of how am I really holding this circumstance? So take a moment and you want to move with it. But again, we're not moving to push this out. We're actually moving to make space for this aliveness to come in. Most times it's going to feel like you're being electrocuted or super heavy or uncomfortable in some very special way. And we're learning how to take that discomfort and slow it down in our physiology and allow it to be there so that it moves into an embodiment in a different way. There's something else that's going to open up and occur because you can actually receive it. It doesn't stay stuck in the torture place. So feel where the aliveness is. Take your hands and place them on your knees and lift your knees up while you're pushing your hands down. And this is going to evoke your whole, it's going to engage your whole emotional sensory core. So you're going to push down with your hands, lift up with your knees. And we're going to do this like a gentle pumping. Again, I'm not trying to make it go away. I'm trying to make more gentle space for it. But I don't want it just sitting in one part of my body, vibrating that part of my body alone. I want it to be able to disperse and spread out so that my whole body can participate in how it integrates. It makes it easier for your nervous system to digest it. You're breathing in, exhaling, and gently pressing, gently engaging. And then again, turning side to side. Good. Now we're saying this. So we wrote it down first so our brain can actually articulate what is happening. And now we're going back and we're speaking this to our creator. So position your heart, position your eyes, position yourself to be in that conversation. This is not like a journal entry like Dear Diary. This is Dear Creator. This is where I'm at. For me, it's Dear Jesus. Like, help me with this. This is exactly how I've done it. And in each of these stages, now we're listening. What is your response? What is the divine communicating back to you? So now we're listening. And the line number 3 starts out with your name. It's Adrian, blah, 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 blah. Whatever I'm intuiting back, that's what I'm writing down in through here. So we're going to hold 1.5 to 2 minutes for each of these sections. In the first section, we're holding our brain and we're reading back. And then you're speaking that to your creator. And you're writing down the response that you receive. And then we're holding how we speak about it. And you're writing down your response. And then you're holding your behavior. This is how I'm relating to it. This is how I behave in the face of that challenge. And then the emotions and the sensations that are evoked, you're holding those and you're trying to see how much can you rest into what the Holy Spirit's giving you so that you can be slow with the intensity of what you're feeling today. And you're writing your responses down. And then you're gathering your past selves, the different ages and stages, you're bringing them in, and the personalities connected to that, and you're bringing that into the heart of your creator. You're saying, this is what it's been like. This is how I've done it. And then we're saying, this is what I feel is going to happen because this is here today. Like, this is what this reminds me of. This is what I think is going to unfold because this is what's happening. And so then we're turning to our creator, we're turning to God, and we're saying, this is what is alive in me today. This is where I'm facing. Show me the exact steps you want me to take to move through this in your grace and in your peace and in your love. And you want to take a moment to notice, how did your experience, your embodied experience, change from when you began? So you're going to revisit your little body diagram and notice what has occurred. So we're going to move now into our action for this hour, for the 6 o'clock hour. And I will see you guys back here at 7 o'clock for through the other link at 7 for, that'll be our integration interval. Okay, so go ahead and I will see you guys soon. Take care.